Yeah, the mic should be on now. All right. Hello. Mic check 1 2. How is? Oh yeah, the mic was muted until now. So, now we are back and we are going to get started. So, top 2 will still advance through the semifinal. We have Lucera, Pokermon, and Dktsunami. Thank you guys. Hey, Samek. And yeah, I guess we're ready. Good luck to the players. You want to commentate?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Jed, and I'm going to be doing commentary for this semifinals. We are basically set to go here with semifinal 1 of 2. We will be playing through all 16 tracks, and the top 2 will advance, and we are ready as soon as the players are set to go here. And seems like they are good. So we are starting on Luigi Raceway. Very tricky course to start on. We've got long straightaways, kind of wide open spots. You can cut through the grass with various shrooms and items. We have Sarah sandbagging and gets a golden mushroom for the reward, while with a star, so they get out to front. Sarah sandbagged and got hit by a shell, so still in third and gets hit over the item boxes. Actually goes back to grab a 4th place item, and it's just red shell. It's probably not what they want. Before a star, maybe a lightning bolt. Golden mushroom, that will do, but they won't get the next set of items because of it. Raw is out in front. Pokermon spills out and gets back shelled, so they are flipping over there. Dktsunami dodges the bomb there as Lucera picks up another item in first, gets a blue shell, so that's going to be incoming for Wah, who is in the tunnel, got a solid lead. As Lucera passes Dktsunami, Pokermon missing the entrance and almost getting hit by that blue shell, and now it's just coming for Wah. Wah's going to try and pick up an item here. Lucera gets blown up there, as does Dktsunami. We're getting some separation between Pokermon and Wah and the other two, although this star from will help them catch up with Pokermon. And they now have a shock as well. They tried to take out Pokermon, who now has the red shells, so this is going to allow Wah to get out into front with a pretty sizable lead, even though they are shrunk, as we have a battle between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Dktsunami tries to take the inside line. Everybody in the back 3 with shrooms. Wah hits a fib, I think, so one last chance for coming through these items to maybe cut through the grass and take a sneaky 1st place if Blue gets something in. It's just a blue shell, not really what they want there. Pokermon with the golden mushroom will get up to 2nd, not going to be able to get up quite to 1st. Barely edges out Dktsunami for 3rd, and Lou brings up the rear, not getting a point from that one. Yeah, it's there's a lot of interesting dynamics of, do you choose to go for first, or do you choose to take out? Yep, so we are off here on Moo Moo Farm. I was just saying, it's interesting dynamics in the match to decide whether you would prefer to fight for first, or maybe if you're in third, you got 2nd, try to take out first so you can pass both of them. Lots of dynamics beyond the most intuitive ones. And you see here, for example, Lou has a shock, but it's choosing to hold on to it, as Wah has a star, so they are waiting to fire it until it can affect all of the players. At least that's my assumption. Pokermon has a couple of shells. Lou waits to right before they are in front of the item boxes so they can get another set of 4th place items. Only getting some shrooms though. Dktsunami with a boo in first. That's going to incentivize 3rd and 4th to fire off their items right away when they get them. Or they might just choose to use the boo to go through the moles. The moles are random, one of the few sources of randomness aside from the item selection in the game. And Dktsunami gets the best of both worlds as they steal a golden shroom and get to go through the moles, which have no collision when you are a ghost. Wah comes up with the star, manages to get Dktsunami as they fade out of that boo. We have 2 shocks on screen between Lou and Pokermon. Interesting to see if one or both of them chooses to use them. This course is very short. It looks like we're not going to get both full uses of them. Lou does use the first one, which means Pokermon will hold on to their item probably until it shocks out and won't get another second, fourth place. Oh, interesting. They choose to use it quickly and end up getting rewarded with another shock. Wah has a boo, but can't use it as their shock. How many shocks can we get here? Lou cannot use their stars, they're shrunk. Wah cannot use the boo while they're shrunk. Dktsunami just has some shells to protect their position. Pokermon moves all the way up from 4th to 2nd in the meantime. Lou only gets no points there. So let's make sure we've got our totals right here. So it looks like it's 6, 0, 4, and 2 now. We're off here on Koopa Troopa Beach as this course has a very important ramp cut, not considered a shortcut as the players are, as it is a dev intended path, but this jump is one of the most important aspects of any course as you save probably a good 10 seconds. The ramp gets mined there, so Wah has to use their golden shroom again and does make it through eventually. Lou trying to get the finish line glitch where you can get better items if you go off to the right past the finish line. Looks like they just got a green shell though. Pokermon with shells and shrooms, but hits a bomb, but does take out Dktsunami, and Wah with 3 red shells close behind. So both players in front of them in concern. Dktsunami might have slowed down there in recognition of that. With shrooms trying to make the jump as well. That gets mined, so they miss off to the right side since they did not have traction to turn back. Lou trying to get another item, gets some red shells, which are not an item you can normally get in first place. So the glitch does work, but maybe not the most desired item, but still great defensive thing. And Wah with a bolt in 3rd. This could propel them all the way up to 1st if they can prevent both Lou and Pokermon from taking the jump. And Lou goes for the backup. You have to hit the left side here and unable to get up as Wah does get into 1st. Pokermon is going to wait at the ramp, line it up, and then use a shroom to get into it. Smart damage mitigation there, moving up to 3rd, but Lou still in 2nd. And Lou does finish in 2nd, picking up their first points of the match. Pokermon 3rd, and Wah with that well-timed shock with a perfect 9 points through 3 courses.
Wah off to a hot start. Good opponents.
Yeah, we were talking about the quarterfinals before and just saying it seems like every quarterfinals was just brutal and that both of these semis could be a final in another year. But we have 29 participants here rather than the 20 we've had in the previous year. And each year it just gets tougher as we have new and strong players come in. Now we have Wah with triple shrooms here, just cutting across the sand, trying to get another item in first. We've got several stars up here. Lou with a star in use and another star, as Pokermon and Lou both fire stars. Wah moves from 1st to 3rd very quickly. Pokermon with red shells moves into 3rd as Wah is just in 4th, hoping to get a 4th place item so that they can get back into it. In this course, you have lots of places where you can use both speed items such as shrooms and stars as well as shells, so it's perhaps easier than some courses to make a comeback. You can make great use of a lot of your items. Nobody with any items except for Pokermon at the moment. Looks like Lou picks up a green shell there. Dktsunami 3 shells, and Wah, this is going to be important here, a star where they choose to use it now or maybe wait until they're closer to the item boxes so that they can get another 4th place item, even though they have to go a little bit longer than if they had cut through the off-road sections. Wah sees the shock coming from Lou, uses the star immediately, gets a shock dodge. They have a star while Pokermon and Dktsunami are shrunk. Lou holding on to another bolt as they try to catch up to 2nd place here, but runs into Pokermon's shell and now choosing when to use this other shock. Might be trying to get another 4th place item here, uses it right before the items, and catches up, but again gets hit by a red shell. So once again we have the dynamic of the players other than Wah fighting against each other as Wah pulls away in first. He might be off to a perfect mushroom cup. Lou trying to use the off-road path to go a little bit faster and gets red shelled over the blocks here. Kind of a disaster for Lou, although they are now in last and Pokermon does have a shock. So they might try to defend third place or might be trying to use this to catch up to Dktsunami. Pokermon in third, uses it and gets into a banana as well, just using mushrooms trying to catch up to Dktsunami, but Lou chooses to use the shock while the other players are still shocked, so we've got an intended small period for Dktsunami and Wah. The fact that Pokermon and Dktsunami are both shrunk means Pokermon will have less of an opportunity to catch up. Dktsunami hoping to catch 2 points and maybe catch up at least 1 to Pokermon, as Lou now able to pass Pokermon, gonna get at least 1 point. Will they be able to catch Dktsunami here? We've got a very close race for second, and Dktsunami gets second. I saw it change to second on Lou's screen for a couple of frames. It can get a little bit confused with players off-road, but it looks like Dktsunami did cross the finish line before and picks up the 2 points compared to Lou's 1, and Pokermon stays on 5 points. So Wah with a very hot start and a very close fight for second place here as 2 players will advance to the finals.
Next up, Special Cup.
Yeah, and we've got barely a moment to catch our breath as we get into the most complicated courses of the game with the Special Cup. First off, we have, Pokermon misses the jump. Took that line a little too hard inside and has to go back around. But with this jump on DK Jungle Parkway, you can lose quite a bit of time if you fall in, especially if somebody shocks you in. Pokermon at least is going to be able to use that golden shroom across the grass to try and catch back up. Dktsunami in second. Wah out in front again with a golden shroom, but it's very close in second and third. Dktsunami with red shells. Lou fires off the red shells too. And somehow Dktsunami, okay, now they get taken out. Pokermon with a bolt here, trying to catch up there in fourth. They might be able to stop everybody at this jump. What are they going to choose to do? And they let Wah go, or are they going to let the other 2 go? Interesting tactics here, just choosing to target the players that they are in contention most with for second place and kind of letting Wah maybe get away with first. They've still got another lap where they could catch first, but clearly tactics going on there, hoping to target their main opponents for making it into the finals. So we see how complicated this game can be, where it's not just your race position, but the items everybody has, the match position as well, that dictates your choices. Wah with a boo uses it immediately, so even if somebody gets a shock now, they won't be affected. Lou with a star won't get another 4th place item in the tunnel. Pokermon looks like they are also going to make it across the jump here. So we've just got Dktsunami coming up on the jump, followed up by Lou. Pokermon with the star doesn't cut across the grass here. Interesting. Saving the star for later. Maybe just trying to secure their second place now. Picking up an item here, a little bit of speed, and with a boo, they won't be able to use that, I think, while the star is active, as you can't combine those. But Wah going off with a perfect 5 first places. Pokermon just steals a golden shroom from Lou for good measure at the end here. Dktsunami is going to come up in third, so our finishes are Wah in first, Pokermon second, Dktsunami third, and Lou in fourth. Wah off to an extremely hot start here. You may remember if you watched last year, Wah fell short in the semifinals, but is off to a hot stop, and they were also first in the prelims, so hoping to take this tournament from beginning to end here, as all 4 players are going to be taking this narrow right to left path. The Lou falls off the side, going to be losing quite a bit of time at the start here. We've got the hairpin jump on Yoshi Valley, the most important aspect. This may look like a shortcut as they are jumping past part of the track, but in the same idea that a corner, if you just hop over the gap, there isn't, that also doesn't count as a shortcut. and the shell, Wa times it so it's on the bridge, but does not knock Dktsunami off the edge. Pokermon with some shells and a star, not choosing to use the star to cut across the grass, maybe saving it for the hairpin this turn. Lou catching up here with the golden shroom, I think is going to actually pass Wa, who is now appears to be in third. They're very close, at least, right behind Wa at this point, despite falling off earlier. Dktsunami going to be the first one to come up on the jump here. Nobody with a shock, but this is a tricky jump at 150 cc's. Pokermon makes it as well. Wa makes it. Lou makes it. All 4 players making the jump here. Oh, that blue shell hits the wall as it went off the side. Lou is going to get a 4th place item, which is a bolt. Very important. They get it right after they went over the hairpin jump, so if they want to use that to block it, they're going to have to forgo items for the rest of the lap and risk that one of the top players may get a boo in the meantime. Looks like that has not happened yet, but now Pokermon has a boo, which prompts Lou to fire the bolt before it can get stolen. However, Dktsunami has a star. Wa is getting stuck as well in there. So we've got a close race here. Pokermon choosing to go wide as they have a bit of a lead. Wa with a star, that makes it much more difficult to make this jump. They slow down a bit and are able to make it. Looks like Dktsunami did as well. And I'm sorry, as I was talking here, I totally missed that Lou had moved into first. You can see how chaotic these races can get. And Lou actually finishes first right before Pokermon. And then Wa gets third. And Dktsunami coming away with no points on Yoshi Valley. So Wa's perfect run comes to an end, but still with a 7-point lead through 6 tracks. Very strong position. Off to Banshee Boardwalk. This has some similarities to Yoshi Valley in that if you fall off, you will lose quite a bit of time. Fewer technical jumps here. Pokermon hits the bomb. Looks like it was blocked by their model of Bowser here. When you're playing with a big boy, sometimes you can't see everything. But gets the immediate bolt. Should be able to at least get back into contention, but it's hard to make it past all of these players. And Pokermon gets shocked on the zigzag, can't get past, and Dktsunami, as the only large player, is the first one into the bat house. No items, but should be able to just get through there before anybody can catch them. Gets a banana, just going to use it behind them for protection. Just have a couple shrooms here, no major items. Pokermon hoping to catch up, but it's hard to do on this because probably a shock is basically the only item that can really save a lot of time, and Pokermon does get one. Might choose to save it. No, chooses to use it in order to get another 4th place item, which is again a shock. How many shocks has Pokermon got in this match? They got like 4 in a row on Moo Farm. This is insane. Dktsunami in first. We're getting and another shock. Somebody check if Pokermon has been manipulating the game code. I don't think you're supposed to get this many lightning bolts in one match. But oh, and the banana! Pokermon goes over the railing on the drop despite doing all that work to catch up. So now they were back and forth as Wa somehow is still in first in yet another race. Tries to backfire that into Lou. Lou dodges it, and Pokermon does get both Lou and Dktsunami into the water and gets another bolt. Is that 5 this rate? Runs into Lou though and spins out, but has a bolt and gets it stolen by Lou. That's the danger of holding it, but knowing Pokermon, they'll probably get yet another one. Wa's firing a shell backwards and does hit Lou with it, but Lou has the bolt as Wa and Dktsunami are coming up on some tricky driving portions. Pokermon does not get another star, but does take out Lou, who then uses the bolt, but gets hit by yet another shell, lets their opponents pass, and Pokermon slows down in order to cause trouble for Lou. Lou is using their shrooms and sliding, but the star from Pokermon knocks Lou into the water. That means Lou is very likely going to get 4th here, as Wa's approaching the finish line. May make it 19 out of 21 points. And we've got Pokermon and Dktsunami battling for second. Dktsunami with a slight lead gets and passes Dktsunami. Pokermon does, because Wa, I think, fired a shell backwards, or at least Dktsunami hit something there at the end there. So tight battle, but Pokermon now with a 5-point lead over Lou and Dktsunami, who are tied for third.
Keep in mind, Dktsunami won the last PA meet, so
Indeed, this is our 3rd annual PA meet, and the past 2 years we have had the same finalists, which included Lou and Dktsunami. So if Pokermon and Wa do advance, which would be the case in these current standings, we would have 2 brand new finalists here. Now, we are on Rainbow Road, the longest course of the match. Yeah, worth just kind of analyzing the situation here. Wa going off the edge here, but plenty of time. A single lap on this is basically the amount of time of a full course normally, so you usually get quite a bit of time to come back. But Wa with an 8-point lead, I mean, it's not insurmountable, but this is the halfway point in the match. So let's say they finish with an 8-point lead, it will be, 1 or 2 points off, but that means Pokermon would have to finish an average of a place ahead for the rest of the match in order to take first. And they have a 13-point lead over Lou and Dktsunami, so Wa looking very likely to advance to the finals here. Let's kind of rejoin the situation on the match here. Wa in 4th, rarely. Rare situation here, but they've got a bolt, and they should be catching up a bit here to the top 3, who seem to be in a close gap. We've got Lou slowing down so they don't get squished. However, they get hit with a red shell instead from Dktsunami, who tries to also fire one at Pokermon. Pokermon has some defensive shells at the moment too. So we've got a battle between the top 3. We have a lot of storms going on, a lot of lightning bolts. The lightning bolt actually might have saved Pokermon from tumbling once, but they get hit by a bunch of shells now. However, Dktsunami gets hit again, so Pokermon, Dktsunami taking out each other as the Chain Chomp takes out both of them and allows Lou to get out to front. Chain Chomp, I mean, being the most effective item so far on this course as it hits 3 players in a row. And as I say that, Lou also hits one, so you gotta, it's very hard sometimes to see these chain chomps before they show up on this 4-player split screen. I mean, you know the resolution of an N64 game, and it's even smaller when you break it into quarters. We are only off to the 2nd lap here. We've still got probably another 3 minutes of racing on Rainbow Road. Lou almost off the edge. That could have been an absolute disaster for them. As it is, they hit Pokermon, who tumbles but also manages to stay on. People staying on the course just by the skin of their teeth here. Wa back and forth, but with a star and a blue shell, and they are going to fire that blue shell, so they have an opportunity to take out some of the earlier players, and also with all players shrunk as well, they will be quickly making up ground here to the top players. They go from 4th to 2nd, almost 1st, about a half second behind Lou, and indeed Wa moves up to 1st from 4th. It's so hard to gain points on Wa because of how good they are at playing from behind. Pokermon with their red shells will have to get an opportunity here. They're very close to Lou, but they do have a banana bunch here, so you risk spinning out, or maybe they just want to try and sneak by Lou and save the items for later. So Lou's banana bunch is taken out. Pokermon now with a banana bunch of themselves, as they are now in the situation that Lou is in, but Lou gets hit by the bananas, and now Dktsunami with red shells in 4th with Lou right ahead of them as we head into this sort of long straightaway, which might be one of the best places on the course to actually use a red shell. Wa just with a single mushroom trying to get the low jump, save some time there. Pokermon looks like they're going for it too. We've got all 4 players on straightaway. Dktsunami, Lou goes off the course as Dktsunami is getting very close to Pokermon, and Wa has a slight lead, but not secure at all. You can see how quickly things can change on these courses just by the item RNG. You know, you get better items the further back you are on the course. Interesting change from some of the other games in the series. The items you can get are all based just on your placement, not like in Mario Kart 8 where it's based on how far back you are from the leader. So we have Lou with triple mushrooms in 4th, kind of needing some good items or maybe some chaos up ahead to try and catch up and earn some points here, trying to get back to 2nd. But Wa and Pokermon might be okay if they just finish as is, because it would help them secure their top 2 places in the match. Pokermon gets hit by the red shell despite having 2 defensive shells, and Dktsunami made it past cleanly but then hit a fib. Pokermon goes for the snipe, doesn't quite make it, but off the ricochet it does hit Dktsunami, those shells are just a little bit slower than you as you're driving, and it's difficult to dodge them on Rainbow Road. Dktsunami also hits the chain chomp, so Pokermon back up to second with a couple second lead over Dktsunami. Blue with the with the star trying to catch up to second, but would have to make it around Dktsunami's items. Wah gets another first place victory. Pokermon, I think, yeah, Dktsunami is just going to take the 1 point, make sure they have some defensive measures. So Pokermon extends their lead as Dktsunami just gets the 1. Wow.
I'm gonna win.
Well, we've got Wah out of 22 out of 24 in a very stacked semifinal. An incredible start from them. And heading into Wario Stadium, their favorite course. Anybody who knows Wah knows how much they like Wario. And Wario Stadium, very similar dynamic to DK Jungle Parkway, where shocks can make all the difference. Wah choosing to slow down, trying to get a better item at the start here. Just gets a blue shell, which can be useful, you know, nice defense, especially if you get in front of someone. If they run into it, they tumble, but they don't break your shell. Lou with triple shrooms, decent item for second, but not when you have a shell coming up behind you. So Wah with a nice blue shell manages to move all the way up to first because of it. Pokermon uses their star, tries to get another third place item. The item blocks are a bit more spread out on Wario Stadium, so it can be easier to miss them at certain points. However, I think there are more sets of items on this course than maybe any other one in the series, which makes it so dangerous because of how important the shock and the lightning bolts are. And if you're in first, there are more opportunities for your opponents to pick up a lightning bolt. But nobody does here. Dktsunami trying to hit Wah there, but having a defensive measure. All 4 players make over the jump. Nobody in the trough. And we've got a very tight race after this first lap. We see Pokermon in 4th, but was in first, got hit by a shell, falls back, now barely ahead of Pokermon, as all 4 players are basically in that half a straightaway. They come up to these items again. We see, for example, Lou taking that turn there, so they land a little bit shorter. Wah getting hit several times there. Dktsunami in first with a boo. Certainly not the worst thing to have here. That means if somebody does pull a shock, you can either steal it or they might be motivated to use it immediately, so they can't really stop you at the jump and just hold on to it. But gets run over by Pokermon. Pokermon moving into first after that use of a shock. That looked very close to a tumble here. Certain walls on Wario Stadium are very prone to making you tumble. Pokermon manages not to have that happen and remain in their first place. They got a red shell, so they'll be hard to get around. But we've got 2 sets of items here before they will go over the jump, and certainly an opportunity for either Dktsunami or Wah to get that 3rd or 4th place bolt. And Dktsunami does pick it up, so what strategy are they going to choose to employ here? And Pokermon spins out but makes it. Lou tried to stop, backs up. There is a backup here you can do while small, but Lou goes for it when they did not have the speed, and unfortunately gets the worst result where they stop and slow down. Dktsunami in first after that usage of the bolt. Pokermon managed to make that jump, so they are now second, and Lou in a pretty solid 4th, going to need some good items here to pick up to 3rd. You know, I think we saw how dominant all of these players have been in previous rounds, so this is just stacked. Wah choosing to use the bolt right away despite being in 3rd. They might have been able to save that. Wah lands on top of Dktsunami despite the fact that they had a fib. And Pokermon in first with a star that's very big. They makes that same bump on the inside there, so I guess that particular wall won't tumble, but dangerous in general to bump any walls in the air. Pokermon using that star in first, not choosing to save it to prevent any bolts. I guess they saw the red shell coming. That shows their level of awareness that they didn't want to tumble from the red shell, and they're just going to risk if somebody might be able to draw a shock before they get there. Pokermon looks like is going to make it over the jump, while with Reds. Reds have an interesting dynamic on this course in that sometimes they can climb over walls. Wah looks like they are going for that maybe, and they get a 2nd place star. So Wah will secure 2nd place. Lou uses a shock, but I think Dktsunami, even while small, is closer to the finish line. You do go faster spinning out while small than regular driving because you spin out at the tall rate. So, whew.
So the big thing we're looking for right now is top two advance to the final. So Pokermon is sitting at 16. Dktsunami is third at 8 points.
Yeah, Pokermon has an 8-point lead to second with only 7 tracks left. So we see some love for Pokermon here in the chat, and let's not lose sight in this discussion of second just how dominant Wa's position has been so far in this match. 24 points out of 27 possible through 9 rounds, and we are getting almost to the point where it's nearing a clinch already for Wa. Pokermon with a star and gets another star, and we've got a pretty close race here as all 4 players. Sherbet lands a tricky course. You can lose quite a lot of time if you fall in, and as I say that, Lou unfortunately does. Not only do you have the normal fall and getting picked up by Lakitu, but you get encased in ice, which can be trickier to get out of. If you triple tap, you can get a little faster. Pokermon with a nice red shell there, kind of sniping it into the tunnel. Easy to hit some walls when you're aiming shells, and red shells can go away because they take a while to actually lock onto someone. So good aim there. Lou spinning out again. Dktsunami also spinning out. Wa not in first, but in second. So we've got the same top 2. Although Wa spins out on a penguin. Dktsunami closely behind Wa, and we have brother on brother fight coming up here maybe, as Dktsunami is going to need to try and pass and get some points if they want to stay within range of Pokermon. Pokermon in first with a boo. This might be a good opportunity for them to get a first place, and that would be close to securing their lead here. And indeed, as we finish this final lap, Pokermon takes the swag finish. Is Wa going to make it across the line? They are, and Lou just with the 1 point. So we've only got 6 tracks left, and so Wa is 18 points ahead of Dktsunami, which means the only way for Wa to be eliminated at this point is if Dktsunami comes in first every race, Wa comes in last, and Dktsunami wins a tiebreaker. So Wa almost guaranteed at this point to advance to the finals. And Pokermon also in a strong position with an 11-point lead. All right, Royal Raceway, 2 of the major aspects here are we've got a large jump coming up, so we have that same sort of dynamic with shocks that can slow people down before the jump. And we have some areas where you can cut through grass or have a 180-degree turn. So shocks or items just to spin you out can cost quite a lot. Pokermon in third place now. Dktsunami in first. Dktsunami and Lou need to pick up some first places here if they want to have a chance of catching up to Pokermon. They need to start making up some ground soon. And Dktsunami in fourth. Lou in fourth with a star, so certainly they could, but you'd prefer to be in Dktsunami's shoes. And nobody with any real items here, so they pass through the item blocks. While with some bananas, can cause some chaos here. Pokermon off the road. Dktsunami and Pokermon taking kind of conservative lines there to make sure they get around that 180-degree turn. You can't cut that close, but these players are high quality and often tend to trap that sort of stronger line. Lou and Dktsunami very close. Dktsunami, yeah, they are neck and neck, and Pokermon has the bolt. Is going to let Wa go and chooses to bolt both Dktsunami and Lou. Dktsunami going for the backup and does make it. Very impressive. You have to hit that set of polygons off to the left and then hop very quickly to make it. Lou got crushed, which may have actually saved a little bit of time as they did not have to wait for the bolt to completely wear off. However, they are now behind everyone as Pokermon is once again in second and ahead of their 2 rivals for second place. So I'm sure Wa and Pokermon would both be okay with sort of how it's finishing right now. Lou has 2 sets of triple reds, but with Dktsunami with a star pulling away, they're going to try and use the first set of reds right now. But Dktsunami looks like they're making it around the turn. Pokermon ended way off the track. I didn't quite see what happened, if they got hit or they hit a banana, so that allows Dktsunami to maybe pick up another place. And Pokermon back to 4th, so this might be an opportunity for Dktsunami and Lou to get back into it, at least pick up another point or two. We've got a blue shell taking kind of a wild path here. I don't think it's going to quite get to wall before the finish. Dktsunami closing in on the finish line. Lou with the star, not going to be able to overtake Lou. And Pokermon doesn't earn any more points, so Dktsunami picking up 2 points and Lou 1 to try and catch up with Pokermon. And with a 19-point lead, with only 5 tracks left, that is 19 points from Wah to 3rd place. They can only be caught 15 points, so Wah has secured a place in the finals. So, Wah with a star here. You know, oftentimes we talk about the seeding as players have gone through the various groups, that a better seed equals a easier grouping in the next round, but that's not the case here because both players are advancing to the finals, so they'll both go to the same match to advance. We know Wah's one of them, and at this point it's looking like it might be Pokermon, especially with a shock here that maybe they can use to catch up some points. So Lou and Dktsunami will need some. Wah does fall into the lava as Dktsunami is really fighting to get caught back up, but Pokermon in first, really looking to make a stamp here on Bowser's Castle and stamp their ticket into the finals. Lou with a boo is going to save it. You can use boos to try and get through swamps as well, but Lou hits a banana here. And you get it to the dangerous lava bridge. You saw Lou get very close to the edge there, almost falling in, but these high-level players are very good at getting a straight path across there, but you've seen a number of players in chaos across that bridge. Pokermon, after another lap, still in first place. Not great items, but a couple second lead here as Lou is coming around the corner and is crossing the finish line. Now, Dktsunami not far behind, but they really both want to catch Pokermon here, as giving Pokermon an additional 3 points is not going to be very good for their prospects of making a final. Lou does get out to front. Pokermon is spinning out, and Dktsunami spins out as well. I'm sure Lou would like other players to catch up to Pokermon so that they can make up more points here. But with only 5 courses left, including this one, they kind of need everything to go their way for the rest of the match in order to have a chance to make the finals. Lou hits a fake item block, tumbles a very slow fall into the lava. Dktsunami back into the lava as well. Pokermon in first, now with 22 points. Wah going to pick up another 2 points to get to 31 before we even get to the last cup. Wow. Yeah, I will say that I did a lot of the designing for this tournament, and we thought about how to seed people, like pre-seed players, and we thought about using the time trials ranking before we realized, looking at last year, there's really not much correlation between time trial ranking and how well players do in versus. It has a lot to do with item knowledge and just the tactics and consistency of driving rather than your fastest possible time. So Pokermon ahead by 12 points over 3rd place with only 4 tracks left. So all they need is 1 more point, or for Dktsunami not to get first in order to clinch it. So Pokermon almost guaranteed a spot here, guaranteed at least a tiebreaker. So at this point, we're really looking at Pokermon and Dktsunami, but it is very likely at this point that Pokermon will be advancing. Wah uses a shock here. Toad's Turnpike is such an interesting course because of the moving vehicles on it. They do follow a set pattern, but of course it's hard to actually follow a pattern when you're dealing with the chaos of verses. And as we get to this second half of the lap, where we narrow down to a 2-vehicle road, if you happen to get to a point where 2 vehicles are right next to each other, you have to choose whether you want to go in between them or wait for them to separate at different speeds. We're on lap 2 here. Lou firing a blue show off, so that will be coming for Dktsunami, which will be disappointing for them, especially as Pokermon manages to avoid it. Dktsunami gets past here, but Pokermon does hit a car, fires off a red shell, is going to slow down Dktsunami, and through all that chaos, Wall with the star is able to move into first, get some items as Lou causes everyone else to spin out and immediately moves into second. And now we have a close race between second and fourth, especially as Lou runs over Dktsunami. This is going to put Dktsunami a little bit behind. And Pokermon has a star as Dktsunami hits a fib. This is bad news for Dktsunami, who is already in a pretty dire strait match-wise. As a blue shell comes past Pokermon, going to be coming up to the front here. Wall off the course, so they will will be losing third, not getting their place updated until Lakitu puts them back on the track. Pokermon with their star manages to hit Lou back into first here. In first place, and they only need 1 point in order to guarantee a spot in the finals. So very strong performances, not only by Wall, but also Pokermon. We talked about how hot of a start Wall had, but Pokermon already 22 points through just 3 cups against, very tough opponents as well, showing off their skills. Dktsunami in last, trying to catch up, but hits a truck as well. Unless something dramatic happens here, this will decide the outcome of the match. We will, of course, be playing all 16 courses here, get, consistent scores, have everybody play all the matches. But as we come across the finish line here shortly, yes, indeed, Pokermon has clinched a spot in the finals. So Pokermon and Wah will be moving on, and these are 2 players that both fell short at the semifinals here. So we see the disappointment from the players who are eliminated here. We will finish off the match here, but
Exciting moment for both Law Master and
yeah, and also Pokermon made the finals of the battle tournament that is also going on here. So just an overall really strong meet for them, showing a lot of versatility. And we see kind of a reversal of fortunes, honestly, from last year, where both Lou and Dktsunami were in the finals, and we are going to have a new champion this year compared to last year, because Dktsunami was the defending champ. Alright, well, let's see. We've got Wah with the 3 red shells here. Frappe Snowland. We're getting some talk about a shell council here. I might have missed it. There is a possibility if you get hit by a shell and use a shroom on the same frame, you can avoid spinning out from it. It's basically, impossible to do in real time. Unless you potentially have a golden shroom and are launching it perfectly, it's extremely rare. Pokermon with a star as well. Wah and Pokermon both trying to just get really strong rounds here. I mean, honestly, even 25 points in a match with this quality of oppositions is strong, much less 32. And Wah, might have hopes of still making 40. They've got potentially 9 points they could get here. They need, of course, 8 out of 9 in order to make that mark. But Lou with the stars. Shout out to all the players still fighting to the end. Dktsunami and Wah gets crushed, and Lou all the way into first. Lou is going to steal a first place here. Wah picks up 2 additional points here. Importantly, Wah has clinched first. Not as important in this match, as both Wah and Pokermon will be moving on to the same match, which will be the finals. So we've got 2 courses left here. Lou and Dktsunami can still fight it out. The number of points you get will be important for deciding your placement between 5th and 8th place. So a little bit of pride there, but I think they both were hoping for better results from the tournament. Pokermon out in first again. If they get 5 out of 6 points here, they could finish with 3. You're getting hit by a star with a very fast AB spin. Lou is great at those AB spins and quick driving. Lou with a shock available here as Pokermon hits the bomb in that final straightaway. You can't really steer as you're going over those jumps, or else you risk running into the sidewalls and tumbling. Lou holding onto that shock, potentially waiting for that 180-degree turn. Additionally, they're playing on 150cc, so there's no railing on the inside here. So you see players getting very close to the inside and then having to slow down here and not fall off the edge that goes back earlier in the course. Wah in second place here, hits a banana, gets some weird hills, tumbles, but basically instantly cancels it with a shroom, showing some good reaction speed and item knowledge. Dktsunami in fourth here, just gonna stop and wait and try and get a fourth place item. Pokermon with 2 sets of shells in third, might be trying to pick up a second place here. Lou really turning it on at the end. Wah might try to sneak past that green shell, but we'll find it difficult. Pokermon came to a stop here. Dktsunami trying to get the extra point here as Lou does pick up another first place finish, and Wah gets 2, bringing them up to 36. Pokermon hoping for one more point here at the end, and with the star coming up from Dktsunami, not quite enough. So Lou with back-to-back wins in this Flower Cup as we enter into the last race. So Lou will come in third in this match, but we have one final race here, Mario Raceway. We choose to do the cups in this order so that we aren't ending on the 6-minute long Rainbow Road when we do have positions, decided like this. Oh, and Pokermon and Dktsunami squish each other and get turned around, so they're both going to slow down, and Dktsunami just hits Pokermon with a shell there. But yeah, a little bit of a faster races and faster ending here by ending on the Flower Cup instead of the Special Cup. Wah out in front in first place, trying to get up to 39 points. Dktsunami in second, and Lou coming up on Pokermon, trying to pick up some final points here. Moves into third, gets some red shells, but Pokermon with a star has an opportunity to pick up quite a bit of time here. And then Wah still in first, no items here, does manage to just pick up a fifth, hops over the bomb as Pokermon uses the star. Lou spins out twice in a row, gets stuck in a bad corner in fourth, trying to turn back around. And we have Wallmaster coming up, and then Pokermon in third here, kind of off to the side, avoiding the red shells from Dktsunami. Wah coming around, gets hit by a banana in a trapped area, and Pokermon gets the red shell stolen by Dktsunami, who's probably going to secure a second place in this race. Wah ends with a very impressive 39. Dktsunami picks up 2 points. Pokermon will get the 1 point. So our final standings are going to be Wah with 39, Pokermon with 27, Lou with 17, and Dktsunami with 13. So Wah and Pokermon will be advancing to the finals, and we will get into our second semifinal very quickly here. And now a word from our tournament organizer, Brody.
Yo, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good stuff. I'm so happy. We're going to do the prediction here. Yeah, Wah dominated. Wah and Pokermon in the finals. You guys hop in here in a sec. I'm just going to finish the prediction here. And yeah, dude, your brother, give him the biggest. Yo, thanks, Dead Hamster. Appreciate it. JCP, Jones, everyone. All right. So, semifinal 2 is coming up just literally right now. We're getting set up. I'm going to take over the mic for a few, and then I'm heading up to Ashley and TMP. Hey, Sky, what's up? And they're going to commentate, and then we're going to get to the finals at 9:30, so we're going to have about like a half-hour-ish break. But, yeah, so Ashley and TMP on comms, and then on the finals, we'll be back to Jen.
Yeah, so I'm just going to sign off here for the second semifinal. I will be back to the final. And also want to shout out Yo-Yo Yoshi for helping with all of the graphics in the, keeping the data up to date as that match went along. So, hand it back to Brody and then off to our semifinal B commentators. And if this second semifinal is anything like that first one, I mean, the final's gonna be so stacked.
What time is it there now? We're in Eastern time, Dead Hamster. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8:03. So, yeah. All right. Guys, get your positions, and I will...
Are you starting the next prediction, or do we need to do that?
I'll do it. I'm just going to get the names and stuff and the prediction, and then I'll hand it off to you guys and Mikey. So... Oh, a Scott quote? God. I can't really think of one right now. Give me a sec. I'll think of one.
I did that in my last match, like going into I think it was going
Yeah, I'll give you one. Hey, all, Scott here. I need a bath.
what?
Did you know what happened over there? No. I said I'm about to calm real quick, and then said you're gonna do what?
Rob player 4.
$20 is $20.
Fair point.
All right, we gotta grab Hattok, and we gotta grab. Who's the last one? I'm going insane. Cheech, where's he at?
If you don't want to play, it's okay. We can get someone else to fill in for you. Don't worry about it.
Grab Cheech. Someone grab Cheech. Tom, are you player 1? Tom, are you player 1? It doesn't Cheech. Doesn't matter who's. I just need to set.
I think Cheech would like player 1.
Okay, cool. Yep. Hattok, Cheech, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna set another prediction. Who wins the second semi? All right, we have Cheech, Yale, Hattok, and iMathll, Robert McKinnon. All extremely talented players. Yo, thanks for the sub, JCP, much appreciated. You guys are gonna have 5 minutes. Get those points in. Oh, sorry, I thought JCP 64. That's Kazan. Thank you for the sub, Kazan. I thought that said JCP, not. He just subbed. All right, so we got a lot of really good players here. Take player 1. Take player 1. Yeah, just take player 1. Take player 1. You're 3? Okay, I'll fix that then real quick. Okay, Hattok will be 1. Cheech will be 3, so I'll fix that. 1, Andy Hine. Shout out to Andy Hine. We'll get Andy out to here one of these days. But yeah, we have 2 new attendees here, Yale and Cheech. Do not sleep on these guys. Yo, thanks for the sub, Samek. Really appreciate it. But yeah, do not sleep on Yale or Cheech. They're newbies to this meet, but do not sleep on them. They are absolutely incredible players. Yale rocking the Earnhardt shades. I love it. Hattok, get your nips out of the frame. Oh my God. Okay, Hattok. Yale, Cheech.
Wait, what time is it in Japan?
Oh wait, actually wait. Yeah, no, it would be like morning. So
Konnichiwa.
Okay, guys, get set up. Get set up. We're gonna hop right into this. Praise hell, praise Yale, yeah. Hattok nips. The guy said had to get your nips out of the frame because he was standing right there just jumping up and down in front of the camera.
I mean, that's what I came to say. I don't know about you.
Hell yeah. Okay, I think we're all set to go. So, Mike, you know how to do points?
Yes.
Okay, and you two take it away. I'm passed off to Ashley and Carson, and here we go. Semifinal 2.
Hello everyone, welcome to the semi-final. My name's Ashley, here to save you from the American accents for just a little bit, or at least partially, because my co-commentator,
Do you have a problem with American accents, Ashley?
I've been here for a few days and it's...
Wait,
slightly
hold up.
crazy.
Brody, top camera's frozen.
Technical issues, please stand
It's
by.
been frozen. It probably just got knocked here. Let me see it.
Hi JCP, how you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
Apparently we're quiet.
You get the mic is like you gotta be on there. Like you gotta get on the mic. No, you gotta be like.
Yeah, sorry, we're fixing the camera situation here.
The camera is getting
Tom,
fixed.
can you come here for a sec?
Mr. Galindo is on the case.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Simon, you better be watching.
Uno momento.
Yeah, you literally need to be like this far from the mic.
Thanks for the good luck, Jesse.
That's hard when there's like 2.5 of us.
I know, but that's just how the mic works.
So we've got to be up close and personal to each other to commentate this one.
That'll work.
Jared.
Ashley, I don't know if I like you this much.
Thank you all.
We're trying to get this camera.
I'm not going to say that. Love you too, Carson. Meow.
Okay, prediction's got a minute left. Tyler.
Get your bets in, ladies and gentlemen. Legal gambling, purely legal gambling.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
All right, we got a camera outage. Yeah.
I hope.
Spam this what to help out Yale? What is that?
I don't know, some random...
Is it a Yale emote?
What is it? Let's see. It's
Oh, a fail
fail
a
fish.
fail fish.
Okay. Yes, we want to see all of the fail fish in the chat.
I am too European to get the joke, but I will say spam those in the chat as well.
But yes, I hope everyone is looking forward to this second semifinal match, and I want to remind you that it is brought to you by Burbank Furniture Supply.
Oh,
This
wait,
couch
we're good.
slaps.
Hey!
Hey, nice camera. Let's move the mic. All right, and here I am, the third commentator.
Is everyone ready over here?
Mikey, down for a very fun match. Yeah, so the iMath posse is showing up for commentary. You're gonna hear some totally unbiased commentary. But all right, you ready? For our boy.
All right, and yeah, we are going to be off here. So
Off to the races.
Let's go.
Good luck, have fun to our competitors. Full start boost, good start. Cheech with a little bit of a spin out. Gonna pull that 4th place box, what's it gonna be? Green shells, not worth it.
Luigi Raceway, not much to talk about in terms of the course design. So this is going to be all about the driving and the item luck. So yeah, we have Hattok with the early lead here.
Yale pulling a star, that can come in handy. Just letting a little bit past this off-road, which is interesting. Playing the long game.
iMathll pulling out the triple shoom to come around the last corner.
Cheech with a star as well. That is quite early for that.
Yes.
Both of them changing
And
the
now
mistake.
Cheech pulls the first shock of the semifinal and has the lead. So this is very large advantage here for Cheech at the moment.
Yeah, that's all he has to really be careful of at this point. Uses it to stop Yale shrooming up, that's a perfect move.
Yeah, I like the strategy play here. Cheech is just going to continue to build a nice lead here coming into the final lap.
He is going to race somehow.
And we had a stoppage there on Yale's side. I didn't see quite what happened, but yeah, iMathll is making quite the comeback here, and the blue comes in on Cheech. So this,
Might
and
get
we,
iMathll in range.
yeah, we have a couple more reds possibly coming in here.
I don't think it's quite going to be in range, but he can maybe use these to keep on the second, but he uses them.
This is
Ooh, green
And-
shell on my math.
yes, Yale and Hattok both coming out to beat iMathll in the end there. So
That is some tough luck for iMathll there.
now we come to everyone's favorite home of the Monty Moles. And speaking of which, there are way too many people at this meet that don't know who Monty Python is. Or what Monty Python is, I should say.
I think I'm too European for that, or maybe I'm just not old enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not old enough. I don't know.
And let's get back to the cart. We have an early shock here for Hattok. And there it is.
Change it into a ghost in first place.
And the ghost to pick up the lovely banana. Just what everyone wants.
Hell yeah. Ooh, hits one. The risk did not pay off.
Yeah, €2 for Monty Python is an amazing quote.
I don't know. I'm out with the loop. Yeah, with 2 red shells in first place. Strong
European
position.
swallows, Dan.
Yale has the double defense in first place, including a red shell. Pretty powerful position to be, but Rob can come up with this golden mushroom. Oh. Just despawns in time. But he is going to get some red shells for his troubles.
Absolutely. And coming up here on the
Cheech
final
almost
lap,
getting redded out, but getting redded again for his troubles.
Yale with the lead, but this is still pretty tight together.
Oh, actually, you need to be even closer. Like, you're not getting it.
Yeah, apparently I have to be like right up close. So, Cheech with the bolt. Makes this very interesting what Cheech is going to do here. Hits a fake box, which does not help him at all. But he chains it. Pulls shrooms, he can definitely use these to catch up. What's he going to chain it with? Ooh, a star, that's big for him. Will he catch up to Yale? Ooh, iMathll just barely.
Very tight finishes across the board for first, second, third, and fourth, but Kyle asking for the pause for a restroom break. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
We have
But
2 ties right here, so this may or may not decide the rest of the match. But either way,
There might have been only 2 races, but those 4 points can be very valuable. We hit the Mushroom Cup because it's a lot of RNG, people say, but you can't snub those 4 points, absolutely.
oh, and
Cheech is not straight enough, unfortunately.
yeah, 3 out of 4 misses, but we do have iMathll getting the backup jump.
Very impressive. Cheech
But-
going over the shell, I've never seen that before in a race.
Speaking of the craziness of the Mushroom Cup, where's Psychedelic Joey when you need him? Oh, the shell takes out the banana on the ramp.
Incredible play from Hattok there. Gonna
with a very commanding lead
going
right
for the item glitch, doesn't get it, but pulls the mushroom anyways, so that's not bad. Gonna help him build his lead.
And the rest of the competitors here have a lot to do if they're going to catch up to this massive lead Hattok has at the moment.
He makes it into the ramp, so he looks to be home free, and now comes down to second place. We have dual stars here. Yale's gonna have to get in with the star, which can be tricky. And he goes
And
too far.
He goes over.
But
the
Rob
tunnel.
misses the ramp as well, and Cheech gets blued. Cheech backing it up. And it doesn't pay off, and Rob makes it in. And he's going to hoover up third place with that. A valuable point.
Hattok with his first place, definitely putting him back in as a contestant.
Cheech entertaining the crowd with the big jump at the end there. Gotta respect it. Yeah, that's an example of going too fast in Mario Kart. Who would have thought you can do that? On to Calamari Desert. Big track for shrooms and stars with a big cut at the end, of course. So it can be very chaotic. We'll see how this pans out.
Along with a highly inefficient use of trains.
America would know about that.
That's for sure.
Still make you pay.
Hell yeah. Blue shell out early, but not much other interesting items.
Yeah, you're the one that usually closer. Like, I think you're the one that
Yeah, I am a bit farther away given the score, so I do apologize. I could just shut up if everyone wants that, but I think I do have a lot to say, so we'll keep it going.
The commentary team is not the same without all the clips. Cheech using these red shells. He's going to force Hattok into the star. Probably not where he wants to use it, but he is going to build his lead with it. The red shell getting thrown, which probably won't make it from that range, I want to say.
You know, I'm sure it was interesting too.
iMathll getting hit, he's going to bring back down and forth, but plenty of opportunity for a power item to come back in the massive amount of sand in this track.
Yeah, so now Cheech coming into the lead here, going into the final lap, and Hattok falling all the way down to third here. So everyone is kind of closing in on each other. We should have an exciting final lap. Let's see what items get pulled.
You know, with the bananas, not too interested. Hattok, the shrooms can be useful, but he hits the bomb. What's iMathll going to do with the golden? He's going to get up back into it. Yale needs a good pull, otherwise Cheech is going to have a free run at this, potentially. Ooh, the red shells can come in handy at the end for sure.
Oh, but iMathll strikes the train, which gives Hattok a chance to maybe come back into play here.
Very tight battle between those, but Hattok is shrooming up at the moment. Can Yale get these red shells off to hit Cheech, or is he too far gone? The shrooms can also help. Could be a dramatic ending.
With
They're
the
coming
red
in.
shell, that's
And
gonna
Yale
do
takes
it!
Yale takes in dramatic fashion with Hattok hoovering up third. Those are those finishes that are just a matter of frames, which you love to see.
Yeah, Yale Earnhardt with the clutch last second finish.
He is in the lead by 3 points. 5 points over third place, which is not a bad position to be in after the first cup. And now we're going into the best track in the game, DKJP.
Special Cup, much more difficult tracks, a lot less item reliant. However, still going to see a lot of chaos on the next few tracks, just given how wonky they are, how much can go wrong. A lot of excitement out of them. Here we see Cheech, very impressive. Everyone else not too far behind.
We had actually a weird occurrence there. Yale made the jump very cleanly, but then turned and shroom back into the water, which set him before the jump.
He just fancied a dip, you know? It's like that sometimes. But Cheech using this golden in first to build a lead, trying to escape Hattock's red shells in second. It's the bridge, but that's not too much of a problem as he makes it to the ramp clean.
Cheech with a fairly safe jump there for lap 2 here.
Hattok makes it too. He's going to fire the red shell and shroom up, close the gap even more.
And the red shell does hit in spite of the bananas Cheech had for defense. And now iMathll is into the water. So he'll have to have another go at the ramp.
Lots of swimming today. Hattok going to be a menace and lay those bananas on the bridge for Cheech. They don't connect. Very well dodged there. iMathll spams the board, has to catch up. I respect the play. Yale is crushed by the coconuts.
The lightning coconut combo is dangerous.
Absolutely. It's brutal. iMathll with a start. Might.
And to top it off, the blue shell knocks Yale into the water. I would consider Yale Bocce the Rocked right about now.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it was funny.
We have kind of a close top two between Hattok and Cheech. Unfortunately, Cheech using the fake item box, giving Hattok a bit more of a lead. But
It's
last
gonna-
item will make all the difference.
It's going to be on Cheech and what he pulls here. It has to be something good, but
Wait
Hattok
a second.
misses the bridge.
Oh no! And Cheech takes the late lead here, but the
Yale
blue comes through.
It's going to be close.
Oh no! And Cheech falls down the cave.
No!
Hattok taking the win after devastating.
Oh, that is a devastating mistake. Cheech will not be happy with that at all. iMathll coming in, looking like he's going to hoover up third after that fall from Yale, thanks to the blue shell. Shrooms up the cave, third place from Rob. That is an incredibly dramatic ending there. That's insane.
It's races like these that make you realize it's truly not over for anyone. We still have plenty more kart to go here.
You know, we always do appreciate when our competitors here, whom we all love, to choose to throw for content. It makes our lives so much more interesting.
Very even scores here, 10 to 9 to 8. I'm up a little bit behind, but the other three are looking incredibly close.
Never count him out.
Absolutely. Cheech being a menace with these red shells early on, going to build a lead. Hattok with the reds and iMathll with the shrooms, both from Yale, which can get Cheech out of taking the hairpin. Wise of him to go around, definitely.
Shortcut lap 1, Yale,
However,
unfortunately not making it.
Yale does overshoot the hairpin, and now iMathll is down into the valley as well.
Yale did actually dodge the shot there that Hattok used because he was getting respawned, which is interesting. That can pay off for him in the long run.
And now Yale also has a star.
He can use it to escape the red shells and cut across the massive grass section, which saves a lot of time into first place for him.
We do have a blue shell coming through here.
Which is going to make things interesting. Yale takes a bit of a wide turn. Red shell from Hattok could cause some damage, and it does, it gets him over!
The seeing eye red shell comes and hits in the front, knocking Yale into the valley again. Dang.
That's an incredible red shell from Hattok there. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but if it was, incredible.
This is pretty accurate to what these Pittsburgh roads feel like sometimes, so.
Yeah. Yale absolutely going to have nightmares about that one. Hattok falls off!
And the blue knocks Hattok out of the valley!
The terribly timed blue shell.
Looks like this top four is going to be close.
Cheech falls into first, but
Another shot.
iMathll with a shock is going to close it even more. This is incredibly close for Yoshi Valley. iMathll with a red shell can cause some damage for Cheech here.
See them shortcuts.
Gets him off.
Cheech
Oh,
falling
and
before he
Cheech
can
is
even
down
try.
from the red shell.
Hattok and iMathll racing it out for first place here. It's going to be quite a dramatic ending. iMathll doesn't pull an item, which might cost him.
Oh,
And
the fake on the bridge.
Fantastic fake from Hattock's going to earn him first place.
And iMathll might be getting
Yale's
passed
gonna
here.
Yale shrooms into second place, and iMathll was up third once again.
That's something you really hate to see.
That bridge is just such a good place for fake boxes. It's almost impossible to avoid. iMathll with the 4 third places. You've got to respect it. He doesn't need first or second. He's iMathll.
Wait, no. Yale
iMathll hit early on. Green shell causing some chaos for Hattok. Yale going to back the green shell before the drop, and Hattok with a lightning. Rob with a shock as well.
Yeah, we have another shock incoming.
Gonna have to be careful. Lots of turns where you can get shocked off the track here. It's used to
And the
get
bats are going to smash Yale, but iMathll,
Not-
unfortunately,
not able to take
spends
advantage.
way too much time swimming for Pittsburgh in March. So,
Stuck on the wall as well.
Rough time for iMathll. He's gonna need Pokermon luck to get back into this one. Hattok in first with a decent lead. Yale doesn't have range on that red shell right now in order to hit him. Looks like he's gonna have a pretty clean run, short of any disasters, which can certainly happen on Banshee Boardwalk. Stars in the bottom 2 spots are certainly going to close the gap to Yale in second place.
let's be real, this cup is enough to make anyone look special.
I can also confirm after my round from earlier. Yale with hitting the fib, that was really well placed. Very good fib box. Cheech with the 2 red shells, which also again don't have range, so many turns on this track, but he's going to be an absolute obstacle to get past.
Shot being spammed.
Unless he falls into the water,
And
which
we lose Cheech.
falls into the water because of a very nice shot from iMathll.
Just like that, he's back in second place.
And Rob falls off.
And iMathll apparently was still thirsty, so
More swimming for him.
I spoke too soon.
Yale going on a banana frenzy right now. Gets red shelled by Cheech, who pulls into second place. It's going to be hard to get past him with those triple reds. Hattok seems to have first two, but a nice cleanly here. Big lead. Yale is going to have to pull something pretty big from this last set to pass Cheech with his triple reds. It looks like we're confirmed here. And we are. Hattok with another win, Cheech with second, and Yale with third, keeping it close up the top. iMathll falling further behind, which he will not like, but it's not over till it's over.
Oh, for sure. Stranger things have happened. We do have first, second, and third separated by only 3 points, but we are only just now hitting the halfway point, so anything's still possible, especially with the talent of these players.
Hattok burning out, maybe some kind of sandbag strategy here. You know, wink wink. Very strategic.
That's the rob for hitting the David Tran.
Absolutely, pulling in the first place. He's going to need to rely on his driving to build this lead as Cheech has mushrooms right behind him. Yale might have a headache with Hattock's red shells in fourth place, but hits a chomp. Rainbow Road is not somewhere you want to fall behind. It takes a lot of items to catch back up due to a lack of shortcuts. iMathll burning the shroom to get away from Cheech's red shell. Going to need to pull some defense at some point. No. Oh!
And iMathll is sent into the abyss by a red shell.
Drifting at just the wrong time. I did that exact same thing earlier today. It is painful, and he falls all the way from first to fourth, unfortunately. Cheech in first now with a banana. Yale avoiding it. Hattok with red shells in third can be a danger. Red shells for iMathll too. I don't think... Is he within range of Hattok? Maybe on the long straightaway, but not for now. He's going to have to cycle some more items to catch up.
Have you guys ever thought about how much damage these carts sustain over the course of a race?
Getting squished by an egg, and that's got to be expensive.
These carts are durable, but I know not everyone's car out there is, so now's a good time to remind you that today's race is also brought to you by Jablonski Glass Repair. This glass is class.
Thank you to our sponsors, of course, for supporting us, as Yale is getting eaten by some red shells. Hattok as well. Absolute destruction on this first straightaway.
A bit of a breakaway from Cheech. Everyone else very close.
It's going to be a big battle between those three here. Hattok with the second place red shell is going to make him a bit of an immovable object here. Short of any star or lightning balls behind him. And there is a bolt from iMathll which could come into play. It's going to be interesting to see how he uses this, although he does get hit.
Now, iMathll also has the triple reds to take advantage of to maybe pick up some of this gap that he's cleaned up.
Just got to make sure you use those reds in the right spot. You want him to hit the wall right away. It's very hard to use these reds strategically.
Hattok with a ghost in second place. Might wait and see what iMathll or Yale pull behind their triple shells, as it can be hard for them to cycle the items in time for them not to be stolen by him. He plays the risk, trying to steal the star, but gets triple shrooms instead, which is still not bad. He can extend the gap a little bit until he hits the fake box. That was well placed.
If you do the dance, there's no charge for the spot.
iMathll hitting a chomp, which is unfortunate. It's an incredibly close race by Rainbow Road standards between these three at the back here. Hattok and Yale chaining items. Third place fake box for Yale. You hate to see it. And Rob is he's gonna let Rob pass, yeah, with these red shells. That's a wise move. Hattock's probably gonna feel the wrath of the red shells here.
Which was a commanding lead, hitting the banana though, and I believe that was a jump, slightly lowering his lead, making it even closer for all four players.
iMathll deciding not to throw the reds at Hattok. He's just gonna decide to be a bit of a roadblock here, I think, for Yale, who has the hold.
Yeah, the shock and play. This will make things interesting. And here comes Yale trying to make up the ground. He already covers one spot.
Oh, sent way
Red
up into the air and just about stays on the track.
stays on the track.
Backed up in mid-air to stay on the track. That was a fantastic play there from Yale. And he pulls a bolt of his own for his troubles. Yet another one. Lots of lightning in the sky today, folks.
Terrible, terrible weather here in GA.
He chains it into the set and pulls triple red shells. We're going to have the battle of triple reds versus triple greens.
Oh, no.
And the triple reds win. iMathll is down into the abyss. That is brutal. Hattok hit as well. He's going to catch back up with the golden shroom. Yale sandbags and gets the reds behind Hattok. Is going to hit him. Very good strategy there.
Oh wait, but we have another fall.
Yale hitting the chomp, which makes it close again.
Which nullifies the effect of the reds as Hattok moves out of range. We will have a blue coming in, which may actually assist Hattok more so than Yale.
Hattok needs to be careful of that, stay out in the middle of the track, and iMathll hits another chomp. Cheech cleaning up first place as Hattok comes into the final set. Seems to be clean, as does Yale in third place. Short of any disasters here. I don't know how you have a disaster on this section of Rainbow Road, but I don't know. Maybe somebody goes for the shortcut or something. Which
Disasters happen anywhere you go.
So we've officially reached the halfway point here, and we have Hattok with the slight lead at 16. Yale and Cheech tied in second, and iMathll lagging behind, but still plenty of time left.
is very close to this final three. Anything can happen. It's exciting just the way we like it. You always like when you don't know who's going to happen, who's going to go through. Starting Warrior Stadium, built very powerful here. We'll see who pulls it, what they do with it, who goes off the ramp. It's going to be chaos, just how we like it. Hattok in the first place is going to get a blue shell for his troubles as Cheech pulls into the lead again. iMathll trailing this red shell in second is a bit of a menace to the players behind him right now. Is he going to throw it at Cheech, or is he just going to hold it to block off the players behind? We shall see. He throws it, which is wise. He does need to be making up those points now. Hattok with a very good reflex to use the start and not get hit by the Renano. Unfortunately, he won't have it for the ramp for security anymore, but he is in fourth place anyway. You really want to be the one pulling the boats at that point.
Yeah, honestly, what we hope to see here out of iMathll is hopefully he's able to get the newest iOS update, because, you know, the previous racing seemed to have some possible security or efficiency features not quite there.
Cheech still in first place. Hattok catching up with a red, with the shroom, sorry, trying to escape the also reds. This is too long of a straightaway, unfortunately. I think he is maybe going to get hit by one. We shall see. Bobbing up the rear and fourth, but just more chance of a bow for him, where he can cause other players chaos. Hattok getting hit over the hill, which is an interesting interaction in the fourth place.
Yeah, it seems like every time I look up, no matter what course we're on, it's Hattok getting hit by another red. Seems to constantly be getting bullied by those.
He is doing well regardless, though, in first place by 2 points. Yale with a star in second place is a powerful spot to be in. Gives you immunity over the ramp, of course, but Cheech steals it in first. That's massive for him. That's exactly where you want to be, in first place with something that can give you security over the ramp.
I was just about to say we had not yet seen a shock on this course, and you know that is always a heavy topic, but iMathll pulls one and uses it immediately to avoid a shock dodge out of Cheech.
Another shock from Hattok. What's he going to do with it? He won't want to dodge Cheech, but Yale is coming up to the ramp, who will be prime target. Hattok lets him go, which is interesting.
No dodging.
Hattok maybe trying to keep himself in a power position for the third lap, possibly, hoping for no ghost. It's bold strategy. We will see if it will pay off in about, I don't know, a minute's time. It's Warrior Stadium, it's very long. Yeah, holding the boat for a full lap is very brave, but we shall see if it pays off. Rob not getting the look in third place that he needs. Sometimes the third place look can be pretty crummy in this game, and iMathll is feeling the full effects of that right now. Hattok still with this boat, completely clear of ghosts for the moment, but there is 2 more item sets coming up where he's going to be risking this. But again, if he gets away with the risk, it is a massive power play, and he will be able to shock somebody off the ramp, presumably. Cheech stopping at the set does not want anything to do with the lightning bolt. Spins around for some reds and hits iMathll, collateral damage on the way. Hattok coming up to the ramp. Is Cheech going to make a play with these red
Blue
shells?
coming in as well.
Cheech makes it and throws the reds at Hattok. Very well done with the backup there. Pulls into first place.
Just like that is anybody's race over the last few turns here.
Rob with the reds, crushes them against the wall. Might just get Yale. Cheech pulls into first, Hattok in second, Yale in third. And Rob, unfortunately, with another fourth place. (18, 17, 15 at the moment. Yale with a couple of points to catch up, but it is nothing insurmountable. One race can turn that all on its head.
And, well, we had kind of not that many bolts last race. We have an early one here from Yale.
That can be exactly what he needs to make up those couple of points. Cheech gets shocked into the water. Very good bolt from Yale.
This blue could be deadly though for iMathll going in first place.
Yale does take over though, so he will be the one taking the blue shell as it stands. Instead he takes a penguin, which is not a good trade-off. Yeah, and he gets hit by that blue shell there. Very close race at the moment. Yale going wide for the boxes. Only one who gets an item, and it is bananas, which is not that useful, unfortunately. Does hit iMathll with one of them though.
Hattok does pull into first for the moment, but we will have to see if those acts of animal cruelty come back to bite him, and surely enough, with the shock, they do.
Two people shocked into the water, Hattok and Cheech. That is incredible for Yale. Both of his, what you would say, direct competition, getting annihilated there. Very tight match indeed. iMathll is in first place though. This is exactly what he needs to catch up. It's going to be a very big mountain to climb, but crazier things have happened. Hattok just about avoiding the red shell there. Yale getting hit, spins off, not what you want to see for him.
Yeah, if iMathll is going to make a comeback, it has to start right here, right now. He needs this first place more than anything.
Absolutely. Hattok trying his best not to make that happen, trying to catch up with the shrooms, but gets red shelled by Cheech. That is brutal.
Yale's unfortunately all but out of gaining any of these crucial points that he needed.
Cheech with the star is going to try and ruin iMathll's party, and does with the red shell. That's brutal for that's brutal for iMathll. Says fine, you can have it. Doesn't sound very happy. It's been a rough round for iMathll, but Cheech takes a third with Cheech takes a first with Hattok in third. Cheech creating a decent sized barrier to Yale now.
Hattok was third.
Yale 4 points off the top two now. He's gonna have to start making a comeback of his own, and that's gonna start right here, right now, with this bolt, he hopes.
Yes, we have some more interesting attempts at another ramp jump here with the bolt in play. And I do seem to recall Rob working on some of the backup jumps earlier on today. We'll have to see if that comes into play here.
Hattok is the first one approaching the ramp. It's probably going to be the target of Yale here. We'll see if Yale uses it on time. He does, and Hattok is not going to make the jump. That's exactly what Yale needed to do, and he did it.
Rob does make the backup jump.
Incredible backup right there. Beautiful.
He's going to visit Peach's castle here, it almost looks like. Going to play Mario 64 instead. And he's on 6 points, so I kind of can't blame him at this point. Yale in first though, with a decently sized lead, but it doesn't mean anything on Well Raceway with that ramp jump and that all the bull activity that can happen there. Hattok using the star is going to catch up here. See what he chains it into. Shrooms. He's going to cut all of this off-road up here maybe, which is going to get him a long way back up to the front. Yale hitting a bomb is exactly not what he needed for his break here.
Hattok making a massive cut into these leads as well, trying to approach back on first.
Cheech with the boot. What's Cheech going to do with the boot? Cheech is going to target Yale. Will Yale have enough space? He hops. Doesn't make it, but Hattok makes it. Very well done. That is not what Yale needs at all.
That being said, this has given a pretty big lead to iMathll here, but
Hattok is hot on his tail, certainly. Cheech shrooming up. Very tight between the top three once a game. Rob's going to see if he can maintain this lead or if some stars or shrooms, Hattok and Cheech are going to catch up. They both pull stars. Commentator's curse there. Or the opposite of it, even.
Oh, we have 3 stars on the map, which... Well, to see, this could allow a lot of catching up to iMathll here.
Cheech misses the boxes, Hattok gets it and pulls a third place fake box. That third place fake box which everybody hates, it's not what you want in lap 3. Cheech comes into the item set, as does iMathll. iMathll pulls shrooms, that might be enough if he can cut off this hill here. Hattok catching up with the star, I don't think he's going to outpace iMathll shrooms. Cheech. Oh! Hattok snipes it! iMathll takes a wide turn and Hattok pulls that very tight. Very well played to snipe the point from iMathll. Absolutely sniped the second place there. Very well done.
Now we are on to Bowser's castle.
We've made an agreement to pause here because Hattok needed to take a drink. So bear with us just 1 second.
That is a drink of water, I should clarify.
Yeah, it's important to know.
Yale has 15 points. Cheech has 23 points.
Not exactly contrary to Hattok's style for that to just be water, but trust me, it is.
My brain is melting right now. I don't know what to do with that information. I'm losing a lot. And I'm very
No, you're...
No, yeah.
You're fine. I'm pretty sure they can hear you.
It's just hard because I have to like reach over.
It's whatever you like.
It's
If you
fine.
don't feel comfortable doing it, it's up to you.
I just want to make sure.
It's whether you feel comfortable, but like, I'm sure Carlton's like fine with it.
I just want to make sure it's
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't care either way. I think it's great.
yeah. I'm enjoying it. So we're restarting Bowser's Castle here. Sorry for that small delay, but we're gonna see what Koopa's Crazy Castle has in store for us here. Cheech with the red shells causing absolute destruction, pulling into first place.
Devastating start for fourth place.
It's the swamps. Cheech in first place, still with 2 red shells, which is going to be a bit hard to get past, but we'll see what the other players can pull for the rest of the race here. Lots and lots and lots of shrooms on display. Nobody's really going to be hitting anybody else. Everyone's just shrooming up. I'm pretty sure everybody had shrooms at that point, but there's a red shell which Yale does well to not get hit off there, and he does pull a shot for his. We'll see what he does with it. It is very interesting. He uses it into the set and pulls a golden shroom.
Not necessarily screwing everyone over too bad. It's going to be a bit easy.
Cheech is going to try and fire this red shell at Yale. He doesn't get around the corner in time.
Oh, went through the statue.
That is a new one.
So, in case you didn't know, that area does not have collision, I suppose.
Which is probably good for him that it didn't, because he would have been stuck behind the statue even.
I mean, honestly, for a split second, I was worried that he was just going to go through the floor there. Thankfully, game is very forgiving.
Cheech in first place again, Yale in fourth, going to need some good items to catch up. Rob pulling a star, which is going to help him do that. Hattok missing the set, which is exactly not what he wants. Triple shrooms of both iMathll and Yale, they're going to use it to catch up, hopefully.
The Thwomps pushed Cheech off to the side there, allowing some precious seconds to be made up.
Cheech and Hattok in 1 and 2 here. It's quite close between them, but Yale is close behind. He's going to need a big item here, but Hattok does very well to take all the items away from Yale. Hattok coming around, see what Rob does with the bull. He gets Yale off, that is absolutely brutal, and Hattok shock dodges into first place.
Unfortunately, iMathll also got hit, so did not really get to take advantage of it.
And it's a big race for Hattok. First place for him, fourth place for Yale to get away in terms of points totals. It's now a 9-point lead, which is a lot going into the final cup.
Yes, we can now safely say iMathll has been officially eliminated from finals contention, mathematically.
Yale is going to need a massive flower cup here, but he is more than capable of it. He's a very good player. He's going to need to really perform.
Although that being said, we all know that the Flower Cup can be pretty brutal, and we know that it gets its name from the fact that all these tracks have different ways where they try to deflower the players.
I mean, I can say the cars have... I mean, I can't say they've quite done that to me on Toad's Turnpike before, but they are very brutal. Cheech chaining the shock into red shells. What is he going to do with them? Who is he going to target? He just goes past Yale before firing the red shell, so it doesn't do any damage. Blue shell coming up from iMathll is going to be a problem for Cheech. It does hit him, doesn't send him off the track.
Oh, and gets Yale with the green as well.
iMathll and Yale shrooming up here, kind of bumping into each other, so the shrooms aren't having that much effect.
Cheech right now has about a 2-second lead on Hattok coming in this item set. And now actually Yale pulls in the second.
But he's going to eat a red shell from Hattok for his problems. That's what Hattok, exactly what Hattok needed to do, slow Yale down so he doesn't pull anywhere near that first place he needs.
Unrelated, but if I hear one more drumstick fall off the table behind me, I swear to God.
I think we're just prepping for the drum solo for Cheech.
Oh.
Claiming his victory.
He might not feel like playing a drum solo after that red shell. That was brutal, sending him off the track, straight into a car.
Right into a car, actually. Hate to see that. Hope he has insurance.
iMathll being a bit of a roadblock for Cheech with the green shells here. Yale using... Getting into a set, banana bunch, that's not that interesting. Nor is a golden shroom from iMathll, but that bolt from Cheech is very... That's going to do some damage and help him catch up, which is exactly what he needs.
Oh, those greens horrifying. iMathll with some very good reflexes there. Able to get a second place box as well,
Ooh.
taking the whole set.
Cheech just barely doesn't squish Yale as he resizes in time.
All I know is the tolls on this turnpike have to be horrific.
They just pile up with these cars going round and round. No exits. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're going to be at that for a while.
Speaking of tolls, Cheech has pulled a bolt and would like to make his competitors pay some tolls right about now.
Cheech does need to catch up. Oh, Yale sent off. That is absolutely brutal for him. Really well done to hit him off, but it's the opposite of what he needed in his mission to stay in contention.
Would he come back with this shot to they're all greeting himself as well.
Hattok in first place. Yale needs to catch up some spots desperately, but he's not going to, which means it might just be over here. If not, it's very close to over.
Yeah, that's an official elimination for Yale. Or wait, yeah.
Yeah, 12 points left, 3 races. That maths ain't mathing.
Well, it could be. Yeah, it would not work out unless. Yeah, there could be a tie. There could be a tie still. Very unlikely. Yeah, because if one of the 27 zeroed all the way out and Yale got first,
Then he would get 24.
15 plus 12. Yeah, 12. Oh wait, it's 3, 2, 1, 0.
Just to confirm, my fellow commentator is being a bit slow. We cannot have a tie here. Yale is officially eliminated.
Yeah, it's very not good for these stereotypical American teams.
3 times 3 does in fact not equal 12.
You see, we're not going to talk about the amount of sleep I've had in the past 3 days. Don't worry about it.
Our resident Ohioan pulling out all the excuses in the book here.
Yeah, and I like to imagine Ashley here has probably gotten a lot less sleep given the travel.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun time getting over here, but it's been a very fun time while I have been here. But back to the action. Yale pulling into first place, going to get some consolation points, maybe. Using the start to its full effect. Hattok absolutely going for Cheech with those green shells. Doesn't hit any of them. Avoids Snowman. And it's a very close pack here coming into this item set. Lots and lots of shrooms. Nothing that exciting being pulled. We're effectively having a drag race.
Yeah, I seemed to have forgotten that 3 was the number of the counting. That is my bad. It's a Monty Python reference that not being used.
Yeah, I'm apparently, I don't know, I'm not educated enough or old enough or whatever continent enough to understand the Monty Python jokes.
Either that or just have not looked it up. But Hattok is going to take this one, but the reds are coming from Cheech.
That's going to make things interesting if they do connect, and they do. Maybe going to... No, he is still going to get the item set. What's Yale going to pull in second place? Red shells, if he does have the space to pull these off, he can get first. He's going to fire one. It didn't make it quite, so Hattok steals fifth place. Yale in second with Cheech in third. Yeah, I'm sorry. Unlike in the American education system, I do know my continents, but not in relation to Monty Python, unfortunately.
Good one.
Thank you. I love visiting a continent and then continuing to insult it continually.
Speaking of insulting continually, we got Choco Mountain up here.
No, I don't know Monty Python. To be honest, I assumed it was American, so that one's on me.
It's okay. We still love her, I think.
I know we do.
I appreciate it, but yeah. Choco's stupid mountain here. Obviously, always an exciting race. No guardrail, no protection, all chocolate. Fun times.
Given how decided this race is, I think it'd be okay if we let iMathll do just one shortcut. He can have it.
One try to weather Tenku. If you make it, negative points. Just to confirm, we will have Cheech and Hattok joining Pokermon and War in the final. Lots of Wisconsinites in there. It's very interesting. That's 4 incredibly strong players for our final. iMathll is looking to get some points on the board, get into the double digits in first place here. We'll see if he does hold on to it this time or if he will get unlucky again. Cheech is going to try and make that happen in second place, as is the blue shell Hattok has just thrown.
And the bomb sends iMathll flying.
Doesn't even need the blue shell to do that job, but it will come for Cheech instead now. Cheech lands on the blue shell as Rob pulls the red. Might just want to throw that at Cheech so Cheech can't drop the bananas after the hairpin turn. Which he does do, and he gets iMathll.
Deadly banana. Thankfully,
He does.
iMathll not falling off.
Stops in time, very well played. Yale is going to fall though, doesn't stop in time unfortunately. Yale's going to get fourth. Cheech in first. iMathll getting up to double digits from 9 to 11. Hattok in third place.
Another 31 up there, yeah.
31-point round for both Hattok and Cheech now. They will be playing for bragging rights, seeing who can win the round, but it's been a strong performance from both of them, absolutely. Mario Raceway, very chaotic track. We'll see what happens here.
Mario in fourth place, so pretty ironic.
Yale not taking advantage of that home field advantage. But, maybe it's the... Maybe it's the RNG home field advantage. Maybe I'm uneducated. Avoids the banana and uses it. Changes it into the set for the blue shell, which might be the worst thing he could have pulled.
However, it's good to hold on to that. Good defense. They got a threat coming.
Absolutely. Hattok in second pulls red shells. Everyone pulling shrooms. No one's going to be getting hit for the next while. Everyone's just going to be playing a drag race, shrooming up. Except for Cheech, who spins out, of course. Lots of grass being cut through here with the shrooms. Going to see if anything more interesting is pulled, and iMathll does pull a star, but there are still so many shrooms around. Hattok pulling into first. We're going to see if Yale makes him pay for that with the blue shell. And does. Hits...
Oh, he got Cheech on top.
Yeah, gets Cheech on top of it. That's the little blue shell that could there. iMathll pulling in first, Yale in second. Going to see if those red shells can reach iMathll. He hit the banana, and the red sends him wide. Hattok pulling through with the star, coming into first place. Cheech second, Yale third place, and that's our round, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Hattok, winning the round just at the end. Very close. Wins the elusive decal, as he is showing off to all of you right now. Very proud of himself, I'm sure. 34-point round, very well done.
Yeah. We are going to be taking just about a half-hour break here before we go into the finals. But I want to thank you for spending a little bit of your evening with us, and we hope to see you here in just a little bit.
Good games to all these players.
You guys mind if I slide in
Look
there
forward
real
to the
quick?
finals.
We will have Jed back for the commentary, so this is me signing off.
Starting the finals at 9:30, so we got like a half hour.
You mean, yeah. Oh, wait, that's
Central Time.
Yeah.